Well, you see that? That's my accordion. So this is gonna be the first trip where I have the accordion with me, because I just picked it up right after I came back from the previous trip, and so I only carried it in my car. So anyway, I'm running a bit late, but I thought, you know, we'll drive and talk. I'm just leaving my my yacht over here. The first thing I noticed when I came, it was a business card stuck to my door. In the back it said, "Call me if you want to sell your tandem Jeep 605." So right away I went under my bunk and I found this. Of course, that's like a very low-tech protection, so if somebody wants to steal it, they will steal it, but you know. So basically, yeah, it turns out that, you know, Jeeps are very popular. This is not the first time somebody's asking me about the Jeep, you know. Like when I was trying to sell it, remember when I was trying to upgrade to a new trailer with a longer deck and drop side rail a few months ago, right? I wanted to sell this one or trade it in, but it did not work because I owe still too much money on this one. And when I put the ad online, a couple of times I got the message asking me if I just want to sell can you sell the Jeep by itself? Like, why would I want to sell the Jeep by itself if I have a 60-ton trailer, right? Because a 60-ton trailer is useless without so 60-ton, like what's the point of dragging a 60-ton with, let's say, 4 axles when it's 7,000 pounds heavier than a 55-ton, or probably 9,000 pounds heavier than a 50-ton. Then that's all you can do with 4 axles. All you can do is probably, you know, maximum 50 tons if you're lucky. I'm talking about Ontario, right? And so if you have a 60-ton trailer, you need to have the stinger. And again, we're talking about Canada and US, not Europe, not Japan. Canada and US. Over here you need to follow the bridge formula, right? And bridge formula says you need all these goodies over here. You need the stinger, you need the, I'm just checking, nobody stole that one. Okay, you need that one, you need the neck extension, so I sent an email to this guy. I said, yeah, if you know, I cannot sell the Jeep separately, but if you want to buy the whole shebang, I might be persuaded, so I can trade for a different trailer. And this guy, actually, I know this company. Why we have no air here, huh? You guys know anything about this? Nobody sent me a memo here, but this one is okay. Well, there is air. Okay, so it's slow because there's no weight. but I can see, you see how where the wheels are? Like I can see in my mirror. See over here, the tire is below this, right? But over here, the tire is higher than this. Then I know that it's very little air here. Oh, it's also because my trailer, the front is raised. Something is beeping there. I think my truck is gonna shut down. No, no. You know, that's one of those trucks where it'll start beeping. Oh, it's probably somebody was backing in there. Okay, everything is good, so the car is parked. I have 4 axles on the trailer, 4 axles on the truck. And if I were to downgrade to, you know, 50 or 55 ton, I know it would be very easy for me to get financing, because, you know, if I don't know if you guys remember, but I went through a lot of trouble with the 60 ton trying to get financing, and I've been using the same leasing company in Ontario over here for, I don't know, 6-7 years. My Mac was leased through there, and my previous trailers. But when I told them I want to upgrade to a 60 ton, they said no. They don't want a deal because that's a different market. Even though it's only 5 tons more than 55, but they said no. If you want another 55, we'll give you money right away. No down payment, no nothing. And I said, hey, I just sold a 55 ton. Like, what's the point, right? So the whole point of selling was to do something different, right? And that's how I got into all this heavy metal over here, so I can really move, you know, some big and heavy loads. My trailer is, I have a trailer for that. High-tech security. So I have the trailer, right, that can take the beating. Very strong trailer. And I got all the accessories that you need in Canada and US to move a load, so I can load up to 100,000 pounds. I mean 120,000 pounds. No, I don't want that faster route. I want to go on 401. All right, are we good? So I got my, let me check, my passport is here. I got my wallet, my phone. My computer is there. I sent an email to the broker saying I'm leaving, I'm a bit late. But you know, it's not my fault. I told them I can load at 7:58. Oh, that's what I want to check. Yeah, I turned off the load, the volume. I told them I can load at 8 o'clock. They said no. Feels good to be back in the truck, even though I didn't want to leave my Charger. I really enjoy, you know, driving that car. And some people were leaving very nasty messages that, of course, I deleted. I don't know, why is it always a problem, you know, like that's not, you know, I did not buy this car to please anybody, and that's the mistake I made with the Challenger, right? The reason I bought that one because I got tired of people telling me I needed a V8, right? So I got the 6.4 and all the morons shut up, right? But then I didn't see much interest in that car. And so I didn't see much interest on YouTube. So hopefully this will change. But looks like people that are interested in trucking, they have some kind of an undeserved low opinion about Chrysler products. And trust me, I was a non-believer myself, but I started thinking back. Actually, when I just came to Canada, I had a Dodge cargo van, and actually that was my first experience as an owner-operator, which ended very poorly. I had to sell that one. Actually, it was repossessed. I couldn't make payments. So back when I came to Canada, I became what they call a courier, you know. So I was operating my own little cargo van, working for a courier company, you know, those quick deliveries. You have a radio, you go somewhere, they say, okay, pick up this box, and it can be like an envelope, or it can be, you know, 2,000-3,000 pounds that they load with a forklift. And so cargo van was useful, except that I still remember my payments were like $450 a month, and at that time that seemed extremely high to me, because my income was, I don't know, $1,000 a month. I couldn't make any money, and so I had to give that one back to to the dealer. But there was a Dodge, you know, I never had any issues, and that one had the same. I think it had 5 point, because it was way back. What year was this? I came to Canada in '97. I think I bought it like in '99, '98, and I remember it was pretty new. It was like 3 years old. That's why the payments were so high, because the guy says, look at this, it's like new, you know. And I think it had one of those older V8s that Dodge used to use. It's not 5.7, it's somewhere in between. I think it was either 5.3 or 5.4, but of course it was automatic. I don't know, it was a great vehicle, you know. And I remember, so again, I just came to Canada, right? And I rented a room in a lodging house in Etobicoke, and my neighbor was a Russian guy, a former magnate, you know, a former rich guy from Russia, a geologist by trade, who had his own gold digging business. And then for some reason he decided, probably his wife decided, they wanted to live in Canada, and so they moved to Canada. He didn't speak any English, so the wife went to study at the community college and quickly divorced him. And so this poor guy, a former, let's call a millionaire, you know, well, he was rich, right? Because if you didn't have money, you cannot come to Canada. But he owned his own business, gold. He was an engineer, and so in Canada, he found a cash job because he didn't speak any English, and he was I think it was like 45, 50, so it was too late for him, you know. Like when you're old, it's very tough to learn a language, any foreign language, and he had zero skills, like zero talents. He was not one of those guys like I have you know, I picked up English pretty fast when I was like 17 or 16, right? But I spent a lot of time studying it to speak like this. But this guy, so he just, from a geologist and owner of his own company, he went to, okay, living in Canada, a nice country, but now he's driving a forklift and getting paid cash, like $150 a day or something. And so I asked him, I said, hey, you want to make some extra money on the side? I said, let's start like a moving business. I have a van, and we can place ads in some Russian newspapers. There's a bunch of Russian language newspapers published around Toronto, and the ads were not too expensive, and so we started doing that. So I was always good at marketing and sales, you know, and so I started marketing myself as a kind of like a two-man moving business. And so this guy would help me, and so we were of course doing all the grunt work. I was the driver, and I was also loading and unloading together with this guy. I think his name was Sasha, like my brother, Alexander. I tried to find him after I moved to a different place. I tried to find him, never could find him. I think he probably either went back to Russia or maybe got sick from all the worries, you know. Very unhappy guy, very poor. Like a lot of immigrants, they end up like this, you know. When they come with the family, the wife divorces them because she's younger, smarter, she can speak English. She does not need this old guy, you know. And so anyway, to get back to Chrysler, so that Dodge was a pretty stout vehicle. I liked it, but I never liked Chrysler, like Chrysler minivans, anything with the word Chrysler, you know, like that Chrysler 300. I don't know, I was not a fan. And then when I was in towing business, when I was a tow truck driver, I remember talking to some, you know, to those guys that drive these pickup trucks, right, for towing. And I remember they were saying, they were praising very high Ram 1500 or anything with a Hemi. And I said, are you kidding me? Everybody says Chrysler sucks, you know, Dodge sucks. He says, oh, no, no, no. He says, this thing has so much power. He says, I would love to have a truck like this for myself. And that was like, again, back in like 2000, you know. And so that's slowly, I started changing my opinion about, I still not a fan of, you know, Chrysler, but I like Ram. I like Ram trucks. I think the Hemi is a great, super great engine. And I like Dodge Challenger. Now I like Dodge Charger. Actually, I always wanted to have a Charger because of the 4-door and get an automatic. I just love this car. And so I think it's this low opinion of you know, Dodge Charger and Dodge Challenger is totally undeserved. It's a great car. All right, what do we have over here? A guy broke down. We have a tow truck. We have cops on the scene. We have this guy pulled over. Probably some kind of an accident or something. Oh, why is it getting so hot in here? And once again, I wanted to point out, you know, there's a reason each video usually has a title. Like if it says free beer, you know it's about free beer. Well, not always, but the idea is to give people, in a few words, some information about the topic of the video, so if they don't like the topic, then can just skip it and move on, right? So I always, 99% of the time, I put the exact content indicator in the title, right? So if it's about my Dodge Charger, I say Dodge Charger. Like if you don't like Dodge Charger cars, don't waste your life, you know, don't waste your time watching the video and then commenting and give me thumbs down. Like, move along, sir. Are we clear on that? Just read the title of the video. You don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I'm telling you, nobody's gonna come knocking on your door and ask you at 3 in the morning why you didn't watch the latest Sergei Dratchev's video. I know you like my trucking videos, but you don't have to watch every video I post. It's my channel. I do what I like. The main topic is still trucking, but I have other interests too. If I do only videos about trucking, I would be bored, you know, crazy. I'm a creative guy. I need some kind of a variety. You should be able to understand that. Creative people, they need some creative juices flowing, right? I'm talking to my brother, who's still in somewhere in the south of Russia over there. Alushta, Alupka, Yalta, somewhere there near the Black Sea. And I said, hey, Alex, what's going on? Your latest video is like 2 weeks old. And he says, well, I don't feel like doing any videos. I cannot think of a topic. He says there's no dealers in here, because usually he would go to a car dealer, you know, when they allow to do a test drive. He would do a test drive of some nice fancy car and then do a video. But he says the nearby town, Novorossiysk, that's a Russian name, Novorossiysk, he says over there, first off, they don't have too many good cars that he says I know my viewers would be interested, but also because it's a small town, they don't want you to drive like, you know, 10-15 minutes. He says maximum they allow you to go like 500 meters, you know, like half a mile, basically around the corner, because if it's an expensive car, of course they don't want to add you know, miles or kilometers to the odometer for the actual, for, you know, for the buyer, for the serious buyer. They want to keep the odometer numbers low. And so he's also sitting there and he says, yeah, I know I didn't do any videos. He says because they got tired of me doing videos about this resort over here, about the sea, about the pricing, because his main topic is cars. But of course you cannot stick to one topic, you will go nuts. And so he's doing videos about travel, these resorts where he went to, like he went to the ski resort where he broke his arm and stuff like that. And so he says people start complaining. I mean, come on, let's get back to cars, you know. So same as with my channel, you know, come on, you know, how much wildlife photography are you gonna do? Let's get back to trucking. And I always say that this should be illegal, you know. You know what I'm talking about? When a pickup truck is towing a trailer with the axle width much wider than the pickup truck, and you can see when they're driving, the wheels of the trailer are always either on the zipper or even into this lane, because the trailer they're towing is wider than the truck. See, like a regular trucks, right, like semi-truck, the trailer is, you know, 8 feet 6 inches, just like mine. The truck is 8 feet 6 inches. That's what it should be. And I always said that's very dangerous. See, like this guy, I can see from here, of course it's too far for the GoPro, but I can see how he's drifting, you know, towards the zipper, the broken line, and then back, because it's hard for him to drive like that. When, you know, imagine it's like me driving a trailer with oversized load. That's what it is, right? So his truck is, let's say, I don't know, 4 feet wide. No, what is it? Probably, yeah, 5 or 6, and his trailer is like 8 feet wide. That's just nuts. Anyway, so we talked about the Jeep offer. Somebody wants to buy my Jeep. We talked about beautiful Dodge cars. My Accordion is in the back. So far I only did like 2 lessons. I'm on lesson number 2. It's coming along nicely. I'm starting to remember, like honestly, like when I was doing those lessons back in Russia, I was probably 9 years old, 8-9 years old. So my mom said she used to carry that accordion to the community center. I think that's where I was going like 3-4 times a week. And because I was so small and that accordion was like 20 pounds, 10 kilos, she had to, it was a huge suitcase. She had to carry that suitcase. It was over a kilometer, like 3/4 of a mile, from our apartment building to the community center, and then she would leave me there, and then she would come back. And my mom was always fond of walking, right? She walked everywhere. She walked to her work, and she would walk back from the lunch break, then to feed us, the family, the lazy bastards, and then she would walk back at the end of a shift. So that's why she stayed in a relatively good shape all these years, because she always liked walking, and she always did, I'm guessing, 3 miles, 5 kilometers easy every day. You know, she was never overweight. Of course, now she's 84 and a half. She added a couple of extra pounds. Oh, by the way, another thing, sometimes I forget to take them out from my car. I remember to bring my walking sticks, you know, those Nordic sticks, Nordic walking poles. I like those, because the plan today is, so now we're going to just north of Milton to load in Ontario, to load a small drill rig. So it's gonna be legal width, probably like 8'6", legal height, and the only thing that requires a permit is the weight. Actually, I moved this one before. I moved this one from New Jersey back to here, and I'm guessing they were using it for something, but it's exactly the same machine I moved a few months ago, I think in May, from New Jersey to this company, and I'm going back to the same place to pick up the same drill rig. It's on tracks, like a tracked drill rig, of course, and it goes back to New Jersey. And so it's about 85-90 miles from the shipper to the border to Peace Bridge in Buffalo. And they didn't send me any customs paperwork yet, because, you know, this is one of those rare occasions where I actually have a load from Canada, right? Quite often I just go empty into US, but this time I have a load from Canada, so I have to set up border crossing, and usually they require 2 hours. So let's say if I do the paperwork on my computer, and let's say 9:30 now, they will say, okay, you cannot cross until 11:30. So the plan is to get loaded, make sure the machine is washed. I told them 20 times the tracks must be clean, and then, well, I know that place is crazy busy, so they'll probably kick me out, even though it's pretty big, but they'll kick me out. I'll just stop somewhere on the shoulder there to do my customs paperwork. Otherwise, if I start driving and I wait till I'm at the Flying J, let's say in Fort Erie, I'll have to sit there for 2 hours after I do my border crossing setup, right? So it's best to do it from here. Then I drive, let's say 90 miles, and then I only have to wait maybe half an hour there. And on the weekend I did my bill of lading, I did my invoice. You know, quite often they give me a bill of lading, but I always make my own, because it says, you know, my name, carrier, so that there's no argument about who moved that load, right? So I always ask the consignee sign both bills of lading, one from me and one that the freight broker sent me, or the shipper gave me, right? So this way, that's how they trained me on my previous job when I was an owner operator. The guy says, always make up your own bill of lading that shows our company name. And so that's what I do. It takes like 5 minutes. You know, all I do is just, I found the old bill of lading and the old invoice from when I moved that machine from New Jersey. So everything is the same. The freight broker is the same, just the addresses. The consignee from that invoice or bill of lading is now the shipper, and so I just needed to switch the addresses and change the shipment order number because it's a new load number, right? And the money is different. I asked him for a bit more. So and so yeah, and then I think I'll just get to probably, you know, cross the border, and it's 4 hours to Milton, Pennsylvania, just east of Williamsburg. Right, there's a couple of truck stops at the same exit. Lots of space in there, and I'm pretty sure they have a dirt. You see, like over here, they have paved shoulder. And so if I want to go for a walk with my Nordic sticks, I cannot use this one. Well, first of course, it's illegal. You cannot walk on the freeway. But over there near the truck stop, actually I'm not sure why I'm pointing this way, so I'm loading over there. The border is this way, so Milton, PA is somewhere here. Okay, let me turn on the volume so I don't lose my turn. I don't miss my turn, because I'm turning in 1.7 kilometers. And then from there, it's only 2 hours, just over 2 hours to my consignee in New Jersey. And I did the bridge permit, right? Because whenever you over, I think it's 117,000 pounds, you have to apply online. You have to ask permission to cross the bridge, like the Peace Bridge. So again, once I come to the bridge, I'll have to stop again on the Canadian side and call the super. And they're gonna send a guy or girl, usually in a pickup truck. She'll take my visa, and I'm looking at the clock, so I'll probably be there after 12, which means they're gonna charge me $200 US. Before 12 o'clock, it's $100. And I don't know, maybe this time it'll be less because it's illegal, you know, it's 8.6 wide. Oh, I think I'll go here. Yeah, I need more room to turn because I have a quad in the back there.
Turn left onto Martin Street, Regional Road 25 North.
All right, so this is Milton, Ontario. And what's funny is that the goal for today is to reach Milton, Pennsylvania. Lots of Miltons around. What's with that? This guy on the door, it says Red Rock Haulage. Red Rock Haulage. And he has a Canadian flag in the back window. I wouldn't be able to make this turn from the left lane. So now we need 17 clicks. Oh yeah, just 10 miles to my shipper. So we're going over the 401. One potential problem with this loading can be, you know, my vest was very dirty, and I threw it out because, you know, you cannot clean them. They're all covered in oil and grease. And I went to the truck stop to get a new one, and somehow I couldn't find what I liked, and I didn't buy it. And now I'm looking inside my truck, so I got my hard hat ready, because over there my freight broker said make sure the driver wears the full PPE, personal protective equipment. So they want me to have hard hat, safety glasses, safety boots. So I have the hard hat, I have the safety glasses, I have the boots. I'm wearing my long pants because quite often they don't like when you show with shorts. I bet that would feel different if I was a girl, you know, like a blonde girl with blue eyes, and I would be loading in shorts. But it's you know, it's profiling. If you're a guy, no, you must wear long pants. So girls are very lucky in this world, you know. Like I always say, if I was a girl and I was doing these videos, by now I'd probably have like a 10 million subscribers. But those operations cost a lot of money, so we'll keep this a male channel. So what else has been going on? Oh, some guy emailed me this morning asking for a quote to move a Cat 349, a big excavator. And it's one of those loads where I have to drive 5 hours to the shipper, and then the load goes 10 hours away and delivers in the boonies in Northern Ontario. So when I deliver, I'm like 15 hours away from my yard in Cambridge. So not only is it going away from me, right? I mean about, you know, direction, right? Direction wise, but it also goes in a very empty area in terms of loads. And so I gave the guy a quote. I said, hey, I have to charge you, you know, like a return trip, not from my yard but from the shipper to consignee and then back, because there's no loads up there, like in this tundra over there. And I gave him a breakdown. I said, okay, here's what the permits will cost, approximately this. This is the extra charge for all these empty miles. And he sent me a message, says, okay, I bet that sounds fair. He says, I send it to the customer. If he says okay, I'll let you know. And I said, all right. I said, I'm doing a short trip to New Jersey. I'll be back in a few days. Even though I don't know, but you know, if they agree to that, I'll just go empty from New Jersey, call the wrecker company, and actually, wait a second. I don't need the wrecker company. No, I still do. Like my permit. My annual permit allows me to drive with a Jeep. Oh, maybe I don't need a Stinger, you know? basically 105,000 pounds. No, I still would want a Stinger. Yeah, it's just without the Stinger, the rear might be overloaded. So I would take a Jeep and just I can hook it up myself, hook it up to the trailer and drive like that. But I would want to modify the rear, take off one axle. And you saw that Stinger with single axle sitting there, right? So I would ask I would call the wrecker and help me and ask him to help me hook it up. So take off one axle, hook up the Stinger with so to make it 3+1, and then I can just drive like that. As long as I have my signs on, oversized load, my annual permit allows me to drive in Ontario with the Jeep and Stinger attached. You know, so that's so cool. And so I can drive like that all the way to the shipper, load that cat, take it to that mine over there in Northern Ontario. And probably over there I would need to at least take off the Stinger. I don't know. I'll maybe drive back like that. But there's no guarantee that they will agree to my rate. So for now I'll just focus on this little baby drill rig. At least the weather's good. 26 Celsius, plus 26. The summer is in full swing. I have my key. I better take it out before I lose it, because I have to have it in my pocket to move the charger into the position where the trailer was sitting. Oh yeah, and the accordion, one last thing I wanted to mention is that when I took it to that mechanic, or technician rather, repair technician, he confirmed that I was right, that the accordion was totally out of tune. Most of the keys were not tuned properly. And so he tuned it. It cost me 400 Canadian, 315 US, but now it sounds amazing. When he was giving it back to me, he said, now I don't want to give it back. I said, come on. Because he never saw an accordion like this, like a small accordion, you know, made in Russia, because we're in Canada and he's Italian. I can tell by his last name. And so I'm guessing he has worked with, and ask him, you ever worked with an accordion like this? He says no. Because first of all, mine is from Russia, and secondly, it has 2 rows of buttons, right? He mostly works with, yeah, I see this guy is flashing lights. And that's a bit too late because there's a cop sitting right here. And she kind of looks disappointed that I was doing 47 miles per hour. The speed limit is 50. 80 kilometers an hour. Yeah, these guys are sneaky, but she's sitting right on the road. You can see her from 10 miles away. Like, what kind of a ambush is that? They should teach them, you know, like a class, how to hide a cop's car in the bushes. There should be a special class. But I'm telling you, like, that girl, she had, when she saw me, of course, and I'm blocking the other guy, the guy behind me had to slow down because I'm driving slow. she had this disappointed look on her face. Like, she should be happy, right? The safety is up. We're keeping the road safe. And why she's not happy? Because all these things have nothing to do with safety. It's all about money. So if she doesn't write so many tickets, her boss will chew her ass. Like, what is this? Johnny over here wrote 10 tickets yesterday. You wrote 1. Come on. The drivers on that road were better drivers, sir? No, that's not possible. I'm telling you to write 10 tickets, you should be writing 10 tickets. Never mind the safe drivers. We need the money. Do you have any idea how much your Dodge Charger cost? How much we paid for your uniform? For your gun? Alright, we are 4.5, 5 clicks away, 3 miles. Alright, we're gonna pause the video, otherwise the GoPro will overheat and I will have no battery life to show you guys the actual loading.